Hello everybody. So I'm making a informative video on my experiences in Korea, in South Korea. What culture shock to expect if you're coming from a Western country. I'm coming from America as a white female. This is my experiences, the things that surprised me that people forget to tell you about. Things that they forget to mention when you're coming to South Korea. So this video is going to be very plain. I don't edit videos. I press the record button and then I press it again to turn it off. So this is a very plain video. So let's begin. I will start with the bathrooms. I don't know how it is for guys, but for girls, the bathrooms can be a danger zone. You wouldn't expect, as someone coming from America, you go to the bathroom, you just go in there, you do your thing, wash your hands, leave. It's a smooth process most of the time. There's not a lot of thinking involved, or having to be like aware of your surroundings or anything. Not in Korea. You go into the bathroom, the public restroom. The first thing you should do is you should make sure, depending on where you are, that you have toilet paper, even before you get into the stall. Because sometimes the stall doesn't have toilet paper in it. Maybe the toilet paper is on one big roll outside of the stall that you have to grab before you go into the stall. Everyone shares the one roll of toilet paper. Sometimes there's no toilet paper in the bathroom at all. Not in the stall, not outside the stall. Maybe it's next to the door, going into the bathroom. Maybe if you're in a place with a lot of bars or a lot of restaurants, you have to go. The bar or the restaurant that you're in will have the roll of toilet paper next to the door. And then before you even leave, you grab some toilet paper and then you go into the restroom. Or, if you want to be extra super cautious, you bring some toilet paper in your purse. And you bring it from home. Or you have like a big thing of Kleenex. Because that's what I've done. I've brought tissues with me. I will show you. I have a thing of tissues that if I know that I'm going to be going into the city, if I'm going into Seoul, I might have to use the restroom, I bring this with me. Because you never know. Even if you're eating out, if you're going to a bar, if you're going to the noraebang, if you are going to a bathroom in the subway, you have to be careful. So I can't stress enough, bring your toilet paper. Be aware of where the toilet paper is. Second thing, before you go into the stall, if you have your toilet paper and you see the stalls, some stalls, you sit in the restroom, you sit on the toilet. Others, you squat over the toilet. Because it's just like an oval in the floor you squat over. I have been in restrooms where that is the only option, and I leave. I don't use them. I'm too scared. But sometimes they'll have signs on the doors, on the outside of the door. It has a picture of a toilet, regular sitting toilet, and then it'll have a picture of a squatting toilet, so you have to be aware of which one you're going into. And then you're finally in the bathroom, you're doing your business, you have your toilet paper, and then you're all finished, do not throw the toilet paper into the toilet. You don't. There is a trash can next to the toilet that you put your toilet paper in. The plumbing, I've heard that the plumbing in Korea is kind of bad, and toilet paper can block it up, and you don't want to be the person who's blocked up the toilet. Even in my school, we have the trash cans next to the toilet, and that's where the toilet paper goes. And you have to get used to it, because you don't want to be the person who's blocked up the toilet. Like I said, I don't know how it is for guys, but this is how it is for females. You're done your business, you're out of the stall, it's time to wash your hands. Sometimes there's no soap to wash your hands with. There might be a blue or white or pink soap, oval soap, on a stick sticking out of the wall, and you have to like grab it and wash your hands. Even though it's soap, it still seems unsanitary to me, because I'm so used to automatic dispensers and it's the foam liquid soap, and you know, wash your hands, you're done. A lot of places, especially around bars and restaurants, the public restrooms have a bar of soap on a stick sticking out of the wall. Bring hand sanitizer. Bring hand sanitizer. If you do not like soap on a stick, bring hand sanitizer. And they're also in subway stations and in shopping areas, public restrooms. If you finally get around to washing your hands, if they have soap, maybe there's nothing to dry your hands on. Once again, those tissues that I showed you come in handy. But then there's probably no trash can to throw away your wet tissue in, or your wet paper towels. You have to go back into the stall and throw it away, or just carry it around with you. And good luck finding another trash can. No offense to Korea, there's not a lot of trash cans in like public walking around. There's not a lot of trash cans. So yeah, that, I think, I have a list that I'm looking at. I've thought about this and I've written it down. I think that's it for the bathrooms. Next are the restaurants. I complained a lot about the bathrooms, but I have a lot of good things and some bad things to say about restaurants. My major thing that I have gotten used to, that I really enjoy now at restaurants, is that there is no rush for you to just eat and leave. It's not like in America at all. Unless you're at like a fancy Western style restaurant, which I think even then, there's still not as big of a rush. If you go to a more traditional style, like barbecue restaurant, or just regular like mom and pop soup place, like one of those dime a dozen regular Korean restaurants where you're going to get regular Korean food, you come in, they either seat you or you seat yourself and you just let them know that you're here. They give you your menu and then they leave you alone. You are not assigned a waiter or a waitress. Like, you're not going to be stuck with the same person the whole night. There are people that work the floor, and whoever's available and you need someone, that's the person who's going to go and help you, whoever's available. It's not always the person who seated you or took your order. It's just whoever's available at the time. So they give you your menu, and if you need a menu, and then they leave. And they don't come and bother you and ask you, oh, what would you like to eat? Do you know what you'd like? Are you ready to order? They don't come and do that. They leave you alone, you look at the menu, you take your time. In most of these regular restaurants, the standard dime a dozen restaurant that I'm talking about, there's usually a buzzer on the table. You press the buzzer, and whoever's available, the server who's available, sees what table needs their help. They go, take their order, and they go, they bring the food to you, and they leave you alone. That's it. They don't come and be like, do you need anything else? You know, how is your food? Blah, blah, blah. They don't do that. They leave you alone. Some of the servers will be like circling the floor, just so that they're, you know, within arm's reach maybe if you need something. But usually if you need help, you press the buzzer and they'll come to you. And that's nice. And then you can take your time eating. You don't feel like someone's breathing down your neck for you to like hurry up and leave, even if it's like rush hour. And you can just sit around and enjoy your meal. At first it was a little disconcerting because I was like, why isn't anyone coming? You know, I need something. I need to ask someone for something. There's no one around. No, you just press the buzzer and they'll come. Or you like have to flag them down. The other thing that I really, really like here is that you do not have to leave a tip. About 99% of the time, you don't leave a tip. Because everything is calculated into the price of the food. The taxes and the tip are already calculated into the price of the food. And most of the time the food is still really cheap. Is really inexpensive. If the menu says that whatever you ordered is $10 or 10,000 won, that's it. If that's the only thing that you ordered for that night, you go up to the front to pay, and you owe them $10 or 10,000 won. And that's it. There's no extra like surprise taxes calculated in, or like the X% of tip that you need to leave at the table. No, that's it. $10 or however much, you know, the food cost. And it's so convenient. A lot of times when you order food in restaurants, the food is meant to be shared. And I've heard that a lot of Westerners do not like this because it seems unsanitary. But that's how they are in Korea. If you order one thing, one dish, it's usually like you think it's just for you, but no, it's this big plate that's for like 2 or 3 people. And you share it. It could be like, I got fried chicken the other night with my coworker, and we just ordered one thing and we shared it between us. Or like soup, or if you go to the barbecue place, food it's meant to be shared. And yeah, you're gonna get like different chopsticks coming in, trying to get food. But you get used to it. I like it. I like sharing food. You know, if I'm not going to eat all of something, then someone else can eat it. It's whatever. Though, one of the big things that I do not like about Korean restaurants, unless it is a fancier Western-style restaurant, is the size of the napkins. Regular napkin in America is like big, you put it over your lap, whatever. Napkins in Korea are the size of drink napkins that you get at like a bar. The like dinky little napkin. It's not gonna help me at all. I've gotten so much food on my clothes because I didn't have a napkin to cover my lap. So I really, really don't like it. It's even worse at the barbecue restaurants because they have napkin dispensers on the table, and they're like paper thin napkins, and they're so small. Even when you like fold them out, they're still so tiny. And you rub like one little greasy finger on it and you're done. The napkin is finished, you put it to the side, you get a new one to wipe off the next finger. I don't like it. I want my big size napkins again. But once again, if you're carrying your packet of tissues that I mentioned with the bathrooms, then you can use those, and they can triple use. Toilet paper, hand towels, and napkins. There you go. Though, at the beginning and end of the meal at a barbecue restaurant, most of the time they give you wet towels that you can wipe your hands on. So at least there's that. I still need a napkin to cover my lap, though. And then a lot of the extra things that you should be aware of in Korea. Trash cans are hard to find walking around on the street. So when you see one, use it. If you've got your empty drink cup, you're probably going to be holding it for a long time, unless you just like put it somewhere and then that's littering. So look out for trash cans. Recycling, depending on where you live in Korea, recycling is a very big, very, very serious business. Very serious. They recycle, like, everything. There's a separate trash bag for food waste, if you don't have a garbage disposal. There is a particular bag that you have to buy to put your regular trash in, and there's, like, the different cardboard, plastic bottles, glass, different kinds of glass. They have dark glass and light glass. Paper recycling. What else? There's some other things I can't remember. But they're very, very picky about it. When you ride on the subway, people will rush to empty seats. The elderly who have their own separate seating area that no one will sit in, even if every seat is full and you have to start standing. No one will sit in the elderly area, except for the elderly. And the elderly, if they think that that the subway's kind of crowded and they might not get a seat, they will rush and push you out of the way to get to their elderly seat, or just to get to any seat. So the elderly, pregnant women, or small children, people with small children, have first priority. And then the seats fill up first, and it's really funny. The seats will fill up first, and everyone's facing in. Once people have to start standing and hold the bars that are on the perimeter of the subway, of the inner subway car, they all stand there, and they're all facing that way, towards the windows. And so if you look, if you're on the subway at the right time, if you stand at one end of the car and you look down to the other end in the middle, all you'll see are backs. No faces. All you will see are backs. And it's weird. Even the people there are people, usually like people my age, who like to stand near the doors. They will stand facing the door. They will stand like this close to the door, looking down at their cell phone. I like to stand near the door. Because I can lean up against like the little corner where like the door and then the seat make a little corner. I like to stand there and kind of lean against it. But I lean back against it so that I can look at everybody else in the car. What else? Sidewalks. I know in America, you walk on the sidewalk like you drive on the street. You've got 2 lanes on a sidewalk, unless you've got a big group of people, and then you just take up the whole space. You've got the lane that's going, and you've got the lane that's coming. You stay on the right-hand side of the sidewalk when you go forward. And yeah, you've got like a flow of traffic, 2-way flow of traffic on an American sidewalk most of the time. In Korea, it's not how it works, because people can be like looking at their cell phone, talking on their phone, just being distracted, not paying attention, and they will just weave across the sidewalk. Or like, as an American, I stay on the right-hand side of the sidewalk, and I see people coming on the right-hand side of the sidewalk, and I'm like, okay, y'all need to move. You can go around, because I am on the correct side of the sidewalk. And it's just so annoying that I've had to move around so many people. You have to be paying attention when you walk around on the sidewalk in Korea. Or if you're like walking around just in a public place that has a lot of foot traffic, you have to be paying attention because no one else is. And you're probably going to run into people, or get run over by a bike, or run over by a car. You have to be paying attention because no one else is going to be paying attention. Maybe they are, but it's always better to keep in mind, like, just to be on the, like, err on the side of caution. Just think no one else is paying attention. And then I think the last thing to be aware of is, as a Westerner in South Korea, is that you will have random people trying to talk to you in English. Whether it's an elderly person, a businessman, younger people, not so much, I don't think. Little kids will say hello. I've had a couple of little kids just like randomly like walking around in a shopping area. They'll like look at me like, such a tall Western lady, and they'll like, hello, and I'm like, hi, where are your parents? And I've had an old man on the subway try and speak to me, and I don't know why, but he started in Korean, and then he spoke a little in English, and I was like, okay. So you just gotta smile and roll with it. Whatever. So yeah. Bathrooms, restaurants, and everything else. Those are the things that no one told me to be aware of. Except for the speaking in English thing. No one really told me, like, warned me about these things coming to Korea. So I hope that this was informative. If you have any questions about anything else, feel free to ask, message, comment, whatever. So yes, thank you for watching.